Welcome to another episode of One Voice Mini Stories. I'm your host, Kevin Bradford. This is The Unfinished Files, the house that hears you. Some houses make noise because they're old, some because they're settling. But this house only made noise when it did. The first night, I whispered something small, nothing important. Just that tired, I should have gone to bed earlier. And somewhere in the walls, something shifted. Not loud, not dramatic, just a soft deliberate creak, like a full boy leaning in to listen. I froze, because it didn't sound random, it sounded responsive. Over the next few days, I tested it. If I spoke in the kitchen, the noise came from the hallway. If I whispered, something stirred downstairs, always close enough to hear me, never close enough to see. It wasn't echoing me, it wasn't answering me. One night, I tried to stay silent. No talking, no whispering, not even a sigh. But the house didn't like silence. Around 2 a.m., the bedroom door eased open on its own, slowly, steady, like someone was pushing it with the back of their hand. Not enough to scare me, just enough to say, I know you're awake. I sat up, heart pounding, and whispered, what do you want? The house answered with a sound I can't explain. A low dragging shifted inside the walls like something turned its attention toward me. Not angry, not violent, just aware. That's when I realized something I didn't want to admit. The house was reacting to my voice. It was reacting to my truth. If I lied, even a small lie, the lights would flicker. If I tried to hide how I felt, the air grew colder. If I pretended I was fine, the floorboards would tighten under my feet like a warning. The house didn't want honesty, it demanded it. The breaking point came when I whispered something I never said out loud. I'm scared of who I'm becoming. The house went silent, completely silent, like it was waiting for that sentence the entire time. And in that stillness, I understood. The house wasn't haunted, it was hunting me with myself. This file isn't about a house that listens. It's about a moment you realize the thing that follows you from room to room. It's the truth you keep trying to outrun, unfinished, unsettling, but finally, honest. But honesty has a way of waking things up. The moments the words left my mouth, the house exhaled. A slow, hollow breath that moved through the vents, down the hallway, and under the door like it had been holding it for years. The temperature dropped, not sharply, not suddenly, just enough for my skin to tighten like the air itself was paying attention. I stood up, and the floorboards beneath me groaned, not from weight, but from recognition. I felt like the house was saying, there you are. I took a step toward the hallway. The lights flickered once, then steadily. Almost like the house was giving me permission to move. Every room I passed felt different now. Not haunted, not threatening, just aware. Like the walls were leaning in for what I say next. I reached the end of the hallway and stopped. There was a door there, one I had walked past 1,000 times without even opening. A door that never mattered until tonight. The handle was cold, colder than the rest of the house. So I hesitated, and the house responded with a soft creak above me, as if it reminded me that hesitation was the very thing that had been trying to break me. There was a door there, so I opened it. Inside was a small empty room, no furniture, no windows, just four walls and a single overhead light that buzzed like it was struggling to stay alive. But the moment I stepped inside, the buzzing stopped, the light steadied, the air shifted, and I realized something unsettling. The room wasn't empty, it was waiting for the truth I hadn't yet said. I sat on the floor, back against the wall, and let the silence press in around me. It wasn't uncomfortable, it wasn't threatening, it was expectance. So I told the house the thing I had been avoiding for the longest. I don't trust myself anymore. The light dimmed, then it brightened, not in a flicker, in a pulse, like a heartbeat. And for the first time I understood what the house been doing all along. It wasn't reacting to my voice, it was reacting to my lies. It wasn't reacting to my fear. It was reacting to the parts of me I kept burying. The parts I didn't want to face. The parts I didn't want to admit. The parts I didn't want to become. The house wasn't trying to scare me. It was trying to return me. Piece by piece, truth by truth, room by room. I stood up, the light followed me, not overhead, but around me. Like the room itself was adjusting to my presence. When I stepped back into the hallway, the house felt different, not lighter, not darker, aligned, like it had been waiting for me to catch up. And as I walked back toward the bedroom, the floorboards didn't creak, the walls didn't shift, the air didn't tighten. And for the first time since I moved in, the house was quiet, not because it stopped listening, but because it finally heard me. Thank you for listening to another episode of One Voice Mini Stories. Tune in next week.